seems to me my internet doesn't work so good today. So this video probably won't work anyway. I made this video to speak out about my fellow countrymen. A whole country full of cowards. A whole country full of them. Now, obviously, I have zero respect for any soldier. Any soldier. I can have respect for veterans. Some of them. But not a single acting soldier can consider himself anything but my enemy. While the poorest of the poor in this country are victimized every single day, over and over again, and we have, liars in uniform telling us they're fighting for our rights. The Constitution starts off with "we the people." If the homeless aren't people, then those soldiers can shove their head down the toilet and flush. The ability to go fire a gun at somebody in a foreign country doesn't make you tough. Everybody knows that Americans don't go to war unless they have overwhelming superiority in numbers and firepower. Other than that, they're all cowards, every one of them. Not one American I know other than myself will stand up to such overwhelming odds. Not one. There is one American I know who is not a coward, and you're looking at him. I've gone to veterans about the issues out here. What do? Look the other way like cowards. Look the other way like communists. See, this is what they was telling us, that communists ignore their own people and go murder other people in other countries for their government. This is a communist thing to do. Well, here united to me that all of you calling people communists are communists yourselves. If you think all communists should be killed, well, you can start with yourself. Also, the sheer quantity of murders against the homeless. I am willing to teach any homeless person, whether they are mentally ill, schizophrenic, delusional, I don't care. I will teach you how to kill anybody who tries to kill you. With the mass numbers of homeless being murdered daily now here in Oregon, being ignored, the number of camps that are lit on fire, these people are just trying to survive. And what are you doing? You are victimizing them for it. There isn't a single soldier in this country, not one, that I can have even the slightest bit of respect for. Now, when it comes to veterans, yes, I can respect some of them. Ones out on the streets, and the ones who are fighting for their brothers and sisters out on the streets. Other than that, you guys are all cowards too. I was in Hood River. Now I'm in Tillamook. These are both very heavy military retiree areas. Very heavy. Now, I've told many veterans here about the situation and the plight with many of these people. They don't care. It's just pretty words. There's the pretty notion that they want you guys to believe that they went and fought for our rights, we the people. The reality is, they wanted a paycheck. Most of them were poor. Most of them didn't have any opportunities in the area that they were in, and many of them were bullied to the point they just wanted to shoot somebody. Now, rather than going into the high school and shooting all of the idiots who bullied them their entire lives, they're going to go to a foreign country and take it out on foreign kids? That's just nuts. That makes no sense whatsoever. We the people doesn't mean just you in houses. We the people doesn't mean just you the black people. We the people doesn't mean just you the women. We the people means we the people. Equal rights means equal rights. And we don't have that. Instead, we got a bunch of idiots who know that they didn't go killing foreigners for our rights. They know they went over there and killed those foreigners for money. They know they went over there and they killed those foreigners because they had a lot of hatred and aggression pent up and they wanted someone to take it out on. Even worse, we allow these jackholes, after going to foreign countries, people, we allow them to come here and join our police forces and take out their trauma and their drama and their hatred that they didn't get what they want. And they all come out here and take it out on the same people you do, the homeless, including homeless veterans. So, you guys can tell me what a wonderful world we live in when you actually take a look at the world we live in. You actually listen to the victims, but you don't. Because the United States isn't this great and wonderful breadbasket. It's not this great and wonderful melting pot. The United States is a land of hatred. That's what it is. That is what we teach our children. We talk about religious equality. There is zero religious equality in this country. You are either a hateful Christian or your religion is not acceptable. Well, how crazy is that? If you're not a Rambo Jesuser. Well, Jesus said I'm supposed to kill all you people. Oh, yeah, sure he did, moron. Jesus literally not once ever did he ever say to kill anybody. He said they'll die. He said you'll die and I'll die. Everyone is going to die. We are literally all going to die. Is that a threat against your life or is that a statement of fact? I want you to look at every single human being who has ever existed. Every single one of us will die. Every one of us. Try finding a human being who's still alive for 200 years. There's lots of people that make these claims. Oh, there's a Tibetan monk who's 187 years old. Well, maybe he is. Maybe he is, but he's still gonna die. Same as all of you and same as me. What's the difference between you and I is that I don't use that as an excuse to look the other way. Claire Jordan has been missing from here for about 3 weeks. Not one person in this town cares. Not one. To them, she's just another body. To them, she might as well be a meat slab or a hamburger or a hot dog. To the people in this town, she might as well be a turkey or a chicken. To them, she might as well be an inanimate object. Oh, you lost your car? Well, no big deal, man. Just buy another one. Well, Claire is not a car. She's a person. And she's not the only person missing. Marisa is also missing, along with 2 other women here in Tillamook. Now, how many people here care? Not one. I've spoken to veterans about it. Do any of these veterans care? No, they don't. When I let them know about Claire missing, they start telling me about somebody who disappeared from Tillamook in 1978. Well, would you like help finding that person who disappeared in 1978? Is that what you're asking? Oh no, they found her. This ain't storytelling time, bud. My friend is missing. You want to make it about you because you're a selfish idiot. Just like every other soldier, and just like 99.9% of all veterans. Between doing something about an issue that's happening right now and running out the way that it used to be. I'm not telling you about my friend missing because I'm trying to have a nostalgic conversation with you about 1968, 1978, 1988, 1998, 2008, or even 2018. Claire is missing today. She is still missing today. If you have to fear for your life from police, I will teach you how to protect yourself from them. I will teach you how to set booby traps to protect your can. I'll teach you how to make weapons and where to stick them to make the most use. See, here's the thing. If you want to swing wildly at somebody, you're just going to get yourself shot. You got to learn how to walk quietly, walk up behind your opponent, stick Garrett around his neck, stick your knee in the middle of his back, knock him off balance and off center. You can do the same thing by cupping your hand over their mouth, jabbing them in the neck with something sharp, while, of course, sticking your knee in the center of their back. Hard. These people are murdering us wholesale. You need to find a way to defend yourself. The American people don't care about you. They don't care about their neighbors. They don't even care about their own friends or family. So if you're a homeless person, keep in mind you are not an American citizen to any American but yourself. And the only person that you have to depend on is you. How true is that? That's entirely true. Your friends and your family will watch you starve to death, watch you get beaten to death, watch you get shot to death, and tell you that it's your own fault. If you had friends or family members who cared, you wouldn't be out on the streets. Most of you are victimized into it. You know how it is to be out on the streets getting all of your stuff stolen from all the junkies that, well, their own families don't want to take care of them. So we're out here taking care of them, protecting ourselves from them, and having to take care of them, having to wipe their butts for them so that they don't make our lives 10 times worse. And then their parents want to tell us, oh, well, you know, my kid's schizophrenic and he's out on the streets. We know we're taking care of him. We're wiping his butt. We're making sure that he's fed. Oh, and by the way, he's not violent out on the streets with us. So what the hell is going on in your household that would result in that? Oh yeah, you being an abusive parent. Shove off, soldier. Shove off, sailor. Shove off, Marine. Let me tell you about a man by the name of Greg Pappy Boyington. Greg Boyington and I went to the same high school in Tacoma, Washington. When he went to that high school, it was not integrated. That was back in the days when only white people went to white schools. And Greg Boyington wasn't exactly white. He was part Hawaiian. Lincoln High School today is an 81% minority high school. That means the white children are the minority at that school. Greg Boyington started his combat service not as an American, but as a flying tiger with the Chinese Air Force. He is the only pilot to ever get 3 ground kills counted as air-to-air kills. See, that's one of the things that's important for becoming an ace. You have to shoot down the other pilot in the air. Well, 3 of Greg Boyington's were on the ground while he was flying tiger. And that was actually used to get him the MF-214, which is the Black Sheep Squadron. That was a set of Navy pilots flying the F-4U Corsairs. And of course, these were Marine pilots in specific. The Navy and the Marine Corps were the same branch, but different. Kind of like the difference between a sailor on board an old sailing ship and a Royal Marine on board an old sailing ship. The Royal Marines aren't there to sail the ship. They're not there to handle the rigging. They're not there to do any of that. Their job is purely to shoot. And Greg Boyington volunteered, went and fought with DMF 214. Got to be in charge of a lot of stuff. Some of the most famous places that we get to hear about on the History Channel, places like the Mall. Yeah, Greg Pappy Boyington. That was his airfield. Henderson Field, pretty important too. Greg Pappy Boyington, DMF 214 again. Greg Pappy Boyington was not a well-liked individual by the Marine Corps. He was tolerated because he was one of the most effective combat pilots and likely the most effective training pilot the United States had at the time. I mean, he came back from China. He went there in a, you ever hear of a P-40? These things were not liked by anybody, not even the Russians, who used it to good effect. The F-4U Corsair was a far better airplane, especially what they were doing. Now, did Greg Pappy Boyington go do all this stuff because he wanted the paycheck? No, he wanted the action. He also grew up in adversity. Had been a very outspoken individual and didn't care. He was repeatedly brought up on court-martials, and they repeatedly dropped the court-martials, thinking they were going to charge him after the war. Then he became incredibly famous during the war, and they realized they were just going to have to keep promoting him and giving him medals till he was finally shot down. Now, the pilot that shot him down, he and Greg Boyington had been on first-name basis for a very long time. This is their 11th engagement just between each other when Greg Boyington was finally shot down and taken to a prisoner of war camp to serve out the remainder of the war. Now, Greg Pappy Boyington is dead. He don't exist anymore. But there was a show about his life, and very loosely about his life, in the Second World War, and it's called The Black Sheep Squadron, starring Robert Conrad. This guy was one of my favorite heroes of World War II before I even knew that I went to the same high school as him. Thing is, his achievements from all those years ago, those aren't our achievements. We don't get to keep throwing our grandfather's fight, our grandfather's life, our grandfather's trials, tribulations, and errors. We do not get to pretend those are ours. We do not live in the same country that they fought for. We do not have the same rights that they fought for. This is not the same country. Those people fought against Nazis. The country we currently live in is full of Nazis and Nazi sympathizers and cowards and no one else, with the exception of me. We're being killed wholesale. You get to see in Ukraine, those people are fighting back against their own tyrants. We need to fight against ours here. The homeless should have the right to defend their lives against anyone. And since every single person in the United States is against the homeless, every single person in the United States deserves every single bit of the abuse we take. Women on the streets are raped an average of 5 times a month in some areas. Imagine if every single one of you in houses was raped 5 times a month, then you'd care.